This guy says, Nemesis Now says, patriots need to stay in the USA and fight the satanic New World Order. The more patriots who leave the USA, the less resistance. I want everyone to think about that. Don't leave. So this guy is completely deceived and deluded, dangerous. I mean, this is dangerous advice. No, we do not need to stay in the USA. The more patriots who leave the USA, the less resistance, he says. Nobody's leaving the USA right now because you're all deceived and you're all totally mind controlled right now. You don't have to worry about that. They've got total control of the USA. Nobody's leaving. You do need to get out if you're listening to this. The answer is not to stay and fight. You're not going to be able to fight. You cannot stop their technology, and the United States is not worth saving. If you think the United States, one of the most evil, corrupt countries on the face of the earth in human existence, you think it's worth saving. It's like saying, I'm going to go save Sodom and Gomorrah. You need to get out, save your family. Otherwise, you're looking at a future, if you're lucky enough to be able to stay above ground and live and survive, you're going to be microchipped. If they take you underground, you're going to be tortured, have your limbs removed, and they're going to keep you alive for as long as they can and torture you. So that's your future if you stay in the control grid that is the United States. That is terrible advice. And I just want to reiterate for people, the control grid in the United States is the most advanced in human history. That's where they poured all their resources. They've got every imaginable form of surveillance going 24/7 right now in the United States. They know what you're doing. They know where you're at. They know what you're eating. They know what you're thinking. The level of control in the United States is beyond anything you can imagine. That's where they put their resources. They have not done that in some of these other countries. In some of these countries down in the southern hemisphere, that's their own playground. That's where they're going to go. They haven't poured those resources there. The control grid isn't there. The surveillance isn't there. The underground bases aren't there. The military isn't there. These are safe places. But the United States is the complete opposite of that. There is nowhere to hide in the United States. Nowhere. Parts of Canada, there are nowhere to hide in parts of Canada either.
So when you think of nanotechnology, all of you can think of little tiny bio-robots. He talks about the fourth military project, the fourth level, is they're turning the entire atmosphere into what's called a plasma. And then they put these particles like nanoparticulate of barium, strontium, and thormine, and every fifth atom of thormine by nature is radioactive. They're doing this because they're creating a plasma, and they do the upper atmosphere. And I could go on, but you can go to toxicsky.org and take a look at this. So I've gone over a 1976 article with you out of the New York Times discussing the fact that they do have weather weapons.
All right, welcome back, guys. This is Eric from The Deliverer. It is February 25th at 7:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we're going to talk about the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. What you heard in the beginning there was, again, that from iConnect FX with that interview from Deborah Tavares and Yana Benoon. Very powerful. I will leave that link again in the description box so you guys can check out the whole thing. Well worth listening to. But we're going to end off here on the Great Reset because nothing these people do, okay, is at all a coincidence. Everything they do and everything that they show to us is a specific sign and symbol to reveal to us what they are doing. Now let's first take a look at here. Okay, of course this is the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. Now what we have here in the background here looks to be an image of the sun with what looks to be like a reset button. Of course, it's in the shape of a key, but if we go ahead and increase this in size just a little bit here, this actually looks like a city skyline. Now, what is all this behind? Okay, we have a reset button in the shape of a key with what looks to be a city skyline, along with a sun image in the background here, along with a grid. Do we see the grid? Okay. Right here. This is what they are showing us now here on the World Economic Forum website themselves, and I take everything that they have to say pretty darn serious, my friends. Okay, now I want to get back into the House Resolution Bill from the 107th Congress back in 2001 and 2002. House Resolution 2977, Space Preservation Act of 2001. Let's scroll down here because none of this was repealed. Here's the thing, guys. All right, if they were to repeal these exotic space weapons, then they would not be chemtrailing, and you wouldn't have heard Deborah Tavares talking about the plasma that I layered over the footage of the ionized plasma fields that I talk about continually and nonstop. And they certainly wouldn't have electronic and psychotronic and information weapons, which is RF technology, EMF, and electro fields that are grossly amped up, that I've proven in my videos, that I'm going to get into on the Ancient of Days and just completely blow this out of the water just once and for all. So if they ban it, then why in the world, from Yahoo Life, okay, February 24th, 2021 at 2:41 p.m., it is now 7:32 on the 25th of February, Eastern Standard Time, 2021, Yahoo Life. The Army is building the world's most powerful laser weapons. Are you absolutely kidding me? Do you guys remember from Dutch Since back on September 9th when he showed this directed energy? Let's have a look. It's a real brief clip. This was what was starting those California wildfires. Watch it as he layers it and layers it and layers it. Now, why are they coming out and telling us about this new powerful laser beam that the military has developed? It's shooting down, and there's the fire right there. Okay, so none of these weapon systems were repealed. They are doing nothing but lying with every single breath. We are truly within a propaganda machine. It's just absolutely unbelievable to me that anybody even still believes that any of this climate change is anything but weather weapons, as we look right here. Now here's what I want to show you, okay? Australia was the first casualty of the big blackout lie blaming wind power. The U.S. could be next. Well, that's not a surprise at all, because when we go ahead and we look at, because we know what has been happening here in Texas, and if you watch the previous vid that I did recently confirming David Goldberg's testimony, now let's look here, because they're talking about fifth generation warfare, which I covered in the Genocide Agenda 21 video on the Deliverer channel, because at the time the Ancient of Days was currently under suspension, which it still is, but I'll be off suspension. I think I'll be able to upload on Tuesday of next week. Now, fifth generation warfare is really just warfare that is from long range and really silent weapons for a silent war. Let me show you what I'm talking about, is because they're talking about here as we get back to the power grid situation that I was just talking about, because there's no possible way in the world that this here is a coincidence. You guys remember this fella here, Randy Hillier, the independent from the Ontario Parliament in Canada, wondering why in the world they're building internment camps from one end of the country to the other. Let's listen again.
In my supplemental question yesterday, I asked this government if the people of Ontario should prepare for internment camps. In September, the federal government posted a call for expressions of interest for contractors to supply, provide, and manage quarantine isolation camps throughout every province and every territory in Canada.
Now, if that's not disturbing enough, let's get into the Army building the world's most powerful laser ever built from Esquire. The U.S. Army wants to develop a new laser weapon that is more powerful than existing weapons by nearly 3 orders of magnitude, but lasts just a fraction as long. The service posted a notice for the prospective new weapon at the Pentagon Small Business Investment Research website, calling the weapon the Tactical Ultra Short Pulsed Laser, and it's for the Army platform. The Army believes it can merely aim the laser at the drone or both damage and fry its electronic guts. Well, can't this certainly be used on the power grid that they go ahead and certainly aren't hiding anything even in the slightest, because it's on the World Economic Forum itself. Again, the power symbol, the sun in the background, the key that is shaped like a city, the Great Reset behind a grid. Okay, it's absolutely incredible from the World Economic website itself. And if they repealed any of these weapon systems, then why in the world would we be looking at EMF charging of the clouds, which then creates plasma fields to hide clandestine craft? This is the very first video I published. You could even see those drones, which is what you saw in the very beginning, was those swarm drones being used from Saudi Arabia. So if Saudi Arabia has this technology of these swarm drones, then imagine what we have here in the United States, who has the most advanced AI system, hands down, clearly on the earth. Okay, because we truly are at the end of the earth age. So I want to get into here. Many fish. This was very, very powerful indeed.
To share this with you. They're looking for their Messiah. They had this giant prayer yesterday.
Breaking news. A historical world event is happening just before Purim on Sunday, February 21st. At the exact same moment, all around the globe, an emotional, heartfelt call will arise from all Jews to heaven for Mashiach to reveal himself.
Which has so many things tied to it, I can't even begin. You'll notice if you watch that video on YouTube about the worldwide prayer, they give a coin each time before they give the prayer, a shekel.
ילדים, השם אוהב תפילת רבים. ובמקרה on se met à fond sur la prière pour Mashiach là.
Master of the universe.
Y es hora de decirlo, Señor del universo. Let's say together. Master of the universe.
Mashiach?
Да.
Господин Всевышний.
A temple shekel, a temple coin, just like I was led to show you in that last video. This is very interesting, and if you look up the word shekel, I mean, check this out. This is crazy. Hebrew word 8255. The shekel, a weight, 88 times in the Bible. That's crazy, man. There's a lot here, you guys. So very much. But I found that to be incredible. The 17th day of the second month.
Because I was down there, down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center, right after it came down.
I was there at 7-Eleven. This is like the spirit of Lucifer speaking through Trump. Because as good of a man as Trump may be, he's serving the wrong God. He's following the false light, and he's gonna bring it to you on a silver platter, and all you gotta do is give him your temple shekel.
If I'm president, it's gonna come back so fast you won't even believe it. You watch.
Even Limbaugh died on that same day at 70 years old. It's time to just be in prayer and never ever forget the promises of God. He is coming, and when he does, that's when all Hades breaks loose. Seek him, believe on him. He will guide your steps. God bless each and every one of you. Peace and grace to you. Many fish.
Great work by, that was his backup channel, Many Fishers. So yeah, of course, I'll leave that link in the description box. So again, lastly, guys, Like I said the other day in the video, the first thing I came to, when I came to after my near-death experiences, they were going to take down the power grid. All right, now if you listen to the David Goldberg testimony, he talks about rolling blackouts, he talks about a 3-day nationwide blackout. They are going to be doing this throughout many, many countries because this is what's called the Great Reset, and it's also called a macro reset. A micro reset would be a very small internal reset. A macro is the entire Earth reset at once. So on that, my friends, I'm going to work on my video for Monday or Tuesday that's coming out in the Ancient of Days. Till then, much love from God and the Father. Stay true, be you, and have it blessed.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day,